For more on the matter, we say hello and welcome to CBS Sports MLB insider Jim Bowden. JB, anytime these two get together, history is on the line. The Red Sox left to right history here on Tuesday night. Really a dominant performance throughout. Couple shaky moments there in the middle. But at the end of the night, Boston comes out on top of the Yankees. Once again, your initial reaction is what?
Oh, Nathan Eovaldi was just brilliant, and Alex Cora did such a great job with the bullpen. I love that he took Eovaldi out early like he did, so he didn't let him get to the Yankee lineup the third time where he's been hit hard in the past. But Eovaldi was absolutely special. You go to the bullpen, you end up with 11 strikeouts and no walks in the game. And then it was the Xander Bogaerts show. It was the Alex Verdugo show. They got all the runs you needed themselves. They played good defense. They hit the cutoff man. They had a good relay throw at the plate. Boston just outplayed the New York Yankees from the beginning to the end of the game, quite frankly.
Yeah, that was the ball game to me right there. Kike Hernandez coming up with a quick throw, the cutoff, the throw home to beat Judge by a country mile. We'll get to that specific play here in a moment, but I do want to talk about this pitching matchup, the starters specifically. Gerrit Cole, $324 million for this exact moment, and you don't get what you paid for here. Jim, your reaction to Cole's outing here. He struggled with his control. The fastball was over the heart of the plate, really couldn't locate it. What went wrong from where you were sitting for Cole here on Tuesday night?
Well, he had the velocity. His fastball was mostly 97, 98. That was fine. The problem is he had no life on the fastball. He couldn't finish his pitch at all. The home run that Schwarber hit was 97 miles an hour up out of the zone, but it didn't have that normal four-seam life. When he's got that pitch going, there's no way Schwarber does anything except miss it, right? Instead of hitting the homer. So the breaking balls did not have good spin or good break, and he couldn't command any of the secondary pitches. The biggest mistake he made was that changeup at 89 miles an hour right over the middle of the plate to Xander Bogaerts. That was the changeup he hit for a big home run to start the scoring for Boston. So for Gerrit Cole, look, he kind of looked like the guy he did the three starts prior to this playoff game. He got hit hard those last three starts. And quite frankly, he wasn't the same after his early September hamstring injury, and he wasn't the same after they removed the sticky stuff when that rule came down. So for Gerrit Cole, I think it was a very disappointing, obvious game to only get 6 outs and come out of the game. Disappointing. He didn't have his stuff. He's going to have to regroup, and hopefully his second year in New York will be better, but he's going to take a lot of heat for this loss.
Yeah, you allude to it right there, and that's immediately where my mind went when he was struggling to kind of locate everything here. It's 50-some degrees out in Boston. First chilly game he's had to deal with in quite some time, and the first one on the tail end of the crackdown on the sticky stuff. New York Yankees fans right now are left to reconcile with their ace not coming to the table when they needed him most. What's your message to them?
Yeah, I mean, the message is you got to get Gerrit Cole right, and in the second year, he'll pitch more like he did in the first half of the year. I mean, look, that hamstring may have caused the delivery not to be the same. You know, I haven't had a chance to look at the video, but to me, that front leg didn't have the same kind of extension that he normally does. And with a pitcher, you know, that can change the life. But I also don't think he had the same spin on his fastball or breaking balls that we saw early in the season. So, you know, it's a long season. These pitchers are coming off a truncated season from a year ago. We can make all the excuses we want. Bottom line is Gerrit Cole didn't get it done. They paid $324 million for him to win this game. So I know Brian Cashman and the Yankees are very disappointed.
Yeah, tough ROI in that department. As for the emerging ace here in Nate Eovaldi, he goes 5 1/3, does get that quick hook like you alluded to there, but struck out 8 in that 5 1/3 of work and really seemed to rise to the occasion here. Was not just locating, was not just employing that full battery of pitches, but really appeared to be one with the moment, jacked up and fueled by it. Jim, what'd you make of his outing here?
Yeah, I really like what Eovaldi did, right? It's not just the stuff and the command and the mixing of the pitches, but I like the fact that he was quick pitching a lot. And when he did quick pitch, the velocity stayed the same, right? It was still 97, 98. I like the fact that he did a little bit of El Duque, a little bit of that hesitation at times to try to throw threw Rizzo off, punched Rizzo out with a little hesitation with his delivery. So, I mean, he took everything in his toolbox and he threw it at the New York Yankees and was just brilliant. And as you pointed out, you could see his eyeballs were focused. He was focused on every single pitch. He executed the pitches, and he kept the Yankees off balance. It was absolutely brilliant. And I know there's a lot of people that were going to say, well, Alex Cora took him out too early. Look, it's 2021. And the analytics and the career of Eovaldi has said he is way worse the third time around the lineup. Alex wasn't going to wait for that to happen. Not when he's got the arms he could go to. And when you have Tanner Houck sitting out there and you got Robles and Whitlock, he's got a lot of confidence in that pen, and that pen came through on this night for them.
Yeah, they got a couple big outs there from the outfield and some assists. I want to talk about that play, really a watershed moment in this game. This night was very much a mirror of the season for the Yankees. The high highs, the low lows. Cole gets pulled early and the air comes out of the balloon. Then you chase Eovaldi and you get a little chance there in between. Big turn by Judge. Phil Nevin sends him home. Beautiful relay play by the Red Sox defenders. We're taking a look at here at it now. The second ball, to be fair, off of Giancarlo Stanton's bat that really could have changed the complexion of this game. But here it is, the relay throw home. Judge out by a mile. Just this series of events here. The great play defensively by Boston. The decision there by Phil Nevin at third base. Where do you point the finger?
Well, I mean, first of all, fundamentally sound play for Boston. There's a reason KK Hernandez was in center field. He played it well off the wall. One bouncer to Bogaerts. Bogaerts, one of the best in the game. One bouncer to the plate, nailed him. When you watch Aaron Judge, he had too wide of a turn between second and third base on that play. That cost him a little bit of time. But Phil Nevin, who was down the line and was watching this play, to me, had to hold him. You have to know the situation, how many runs you're down. That one run wasn't going to make a difference. You needed multiple runs. You needed a big inning. You can't take that chance, not with Judge running. So Nevin had to see the little bit of a wide turn. He had to understand that both Hernandez and Bogaerts have good arms. Both of them have accurate arms. And that it was going to be a bang-bang play at the plate. Maybe you're lucky he's safe, but it was going to be that close. You can't, as a third base coach, in this game, in that situation, with everything on the line, you can't send him. Yeah. And he did. And I'll tell you what, if you send him, it's okay. He just better be safe.
That's the difference.
And he wasn't.
It's the difference between,
I think.
Yeah, it's the difference between second and third with one out, or Giancarlo Stanton on second, and hoping that Joey Gallo can make some magic happen. That was not the case here on Tuesday night, but a beautiful defensive play, like you said, by Kike Hernandez. The relay by Xander Bogaerts, that was really his defensive highlight, but he was fantastic at the plate as well. Bogaerts coming up in big spot after big spot. He homers, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. Really the catalyst here for Boston's offense on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and no doubt. I mean, he hit that change-up. I mean, sure, Cole gave him one right out of the plate, but he took advantage of it and did the damage. And we saw the throw. But let's not forget about scoring from first base on that double by Verdugo. He got an incredible jump off of first base. He had a great secondary lead, and that's why he was able to score. So let's give him some credit for that. And let's also give Alex Verdugo a lot of credit for the home run that he hit around the pesky pole. But more importantly, he broke that game open with the bases loaded when he hit that line drive to left field, that base hit to get those next 2 runs. This was the home run right here, right around the pesky pole, just absolutely crushed it. And then you saw later on that double that he hit to left center field that scored a couple of runs and really put the game out of reach. Of course, he made a base running mistake after that and was thrown out at second base. But Bogaerts and Verdugo got it done in the big moments when all the pressure was on them. They got it done when they needed it.
You know, Boston's been a great home team this whole season. One of the best batting averages in baseball, most runs per game in baseball at home. They once again bottle up a little bit of that magic, but it's not out of line with what we've seen in this matchup thus far. We got to look back to 2004. We got to think about 2018. And now here in 2021, Boston once again bettering the Yankees. That's, I believe, 8 of the last 9 postseason games between these two over those 3 series have gone to Boston. Bigger picture here, Jim, are you sensing, I don't know, a shift in big brother, little brother? I know neither of these teams looks at the other that way, but the way we perceive this matchup, is it Boston until further notice?
No, I don't see it that way. Look, they both won 91 games this year, right? They both had identical records in the regular season. You're playing a 1-game playoff. Anyone can win this game. The Yankees didn't play well over the weekend. I think they scored 7 runs in their last 4 games coming in here. And you look at this Yankee team, they were built on the home run ball. I mean, the Red Sox had a much better balanced offense. They know how to manufacture runs. They can get on base, move the runners. They can win with their speed, going first to third or scoring. I mean, you look at the difference in the game. Bogaerts scores from first. Aaron Judge is thrown out at the plate. I mean, that matters. And so, the Yankees are a one-dimensional team, and I think as they head to the offseason, we'll talk about that in a bit, I think there's got to be a lot of changes in their offense. I don't think you can have an offense in 2021 that's just built on the long ball, because you're going to have too many games like you saw tonight, 11 strikeouts, no walks, and you go home. I mean, it's going to be tough to win that way in the postseason.
And when you look at the construction of this team defensively, there was also a relay play by the Yankees judge from right field that they don't get the guy at home. So you really saw the difference between these two ball clubs on both sides of the diamond tonight. We do have to talk about the future of the New York Yankees, because there were some low points through this season where pundits and talking heads were calling for Boone's job and even going up the ladder to Cashman. I know you're very well tapped in with this franchise, Jim. How big was tonight's result in the future of the franchise?
Look, I personally think Cashman and Boone are both going to be back. We hear this every year with the Yankees don't win, and we understand it, and we all know what the expectations are in New York. The Steinbrenners, whether it be George or Hal, have stuck with Brian in the good years and the bad years. They've been very loyal. I'm not sure that's going to change. I think Brian Cashman was happy with the job that Aaron Boone did, but I think there's a lot of work to do with this team, and I think it's more about the players. It's hard to criticize Aaron Boone, for example, tonight. He took Cole out early. Third inning, you're gone. 2 innings, that's it. Went to the bullpen. Holmes came in, strikeout, double play, got it done, brought in Severino. I mean, he pushed the right buttons. Players didn't get it done. So, look, they got a lot of decisions to make. You got free agents, Anthony Rizzo, Corey Kluber, Brett Gardner, the catching situation with Gary Sanchez. Yeah, you've got a team that needs to be more athletic. You need to figure out what you're going to do at shortstop, because Gleyber Torres can't go back to shortstop. He's got to stay at second base, as we saw here. The free agent market's loaded with good shortstops, from Corey Seager to Trevor Story to Javier Baez to Carlos Correa. A lot of options out there. Starling Marte sitting on the free agent market. He would be a huge upgrade in center field to give them speed and power and a guy that can get on base. But the Yankees need to rebuild this offense, make it more balanced. And I'm not talking just left and right, but be able to have guys that can get on base, create traffic for guys like the middle of the order for Stanton and Judge to drive in. They need to come to the plate with a lot more traffic. I think they need a better two-way catcher. Sanchez has great power. He's not a great defensive catcher, can't block balls well, doesn't always frame well. The mix just doesn't work. And then in terms of the pitching, look, I think the bullpen by the end of the year was brilliant, especially the last month. But they need to keep working on that starting rotation and keep trying to build it up. So I think there's a lot of work to be done before the Yankees really become World Series contenders again. I don't think they're that close.
No doubt, station to station might get you 91 in the regular season, but can only get you so far when it comes to postseason baseball. Let's look forward here in the postseason. This Boston Red Sox team really cast aside before pitch number 1 of the season, sort of thought to be a non-factor. Vegas even looking at them as a 500 ball club. And here they are, set to take on the Rays in the divisional round. As you look at that matchup, how much magic, how much noise can Boston make against Tampa?
I've got the Rays winning this series in 4 games. They won 100 games in the regular season. I think they're going to go to the World Series. I think we'll see them play the Astros in the League Championship Series. And I think they potentially can win the World Championship, despite the fact this is a very young club. Shane McClanahan, according to Kevin Cash, he told me he's going to start Game 1. Rookie Shane Baz is going to start Game 2. Drew Rasmussen's going to pitch Game 3. So their rotation is all set and ready to go. And when they start going to the bullpen, they're going to throw out these guys that throw 100 miles an hour, one after another, until they get to Andrew Kittredge, who ends up blowing everybody out in the back end. Their pitching's really good. Tampa Bay has so much talent. They got the veteran Nelson Cruz, great rookies in Randy Arozarena, who blew up October last year. Wander Franco got on base 43 times this year. You got Austin Meadows. You got Brandon Lau. And, as Kevin Cash keeps telling me, and I talk to him every Friday, as Kevin Cash tells me every single Friday, he doesn't have a bench because his bench are regular players. It's just a matter of who's going to start. This team is the deepest and best team in the American League. That doesn't mean the best team's going to win, but they're going to be heavy favorites against the Boston Red Sox in this division series.
Now I know why you like Eovaldi getting the hook. You've been talking to Kevin Cash. That's why. Jim Bowden breaking it down here on CBS Sports HQ. We thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a look at that playoff bracket with the AL wildcard round now complete. The Red Sox taking on the Rays in the divisional round. That's going to get going on Thursday. The White Sox and Astros going to meet as well on Thursday. Tuesday, here giving us the result on the AL side. Wednesday, we'll offer up the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Winners set to take on the MLB best Giants. And if you had the Yanks going any further than tonight, it's bracket busted.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.